We're talking today with Global Lithium Resources, ASX code GL1. It's got a market cap around 340 million. We're joined by Managing Director Ron Mitchell. Ron, welcome to Sydney. Thanks for your time.
Great pleasure to be here, Tim. Thanks for having me.
Now people and potentially new shareholders and investors who don't understand the Global Lithium Resources story, can you give us some background?
Yeah, look, we're a young company. We just had our 2-year anniversary actually last weekend. So we only listed on the ASX in May of 2021. Came to market with a single asset up in the Marble Bar region, 10 million tonne resource. Following our listing, we're the best performing IPO on the ASX back in 2021. So we had a fantastic first year. Last year was an incredibly busy year for the company on multiple fronts. We acquired our second asset, the Mana Lithium project out east of Kalgoorlie, and completed a 100% acquisition of that initial joint venture the back end of last year, and that culminated also on a very significant update to our total mineral resource across both projects. We moved that position up to 50 million tonnes at 1%. So yeah, really thrilled. Lots to do. We're in a DFS at the moment for our Mana project, so a lot of sort of technical de-risking work streams underway at the moment.
And you, off camera, you said you've been in the industry like 13 years, which is a long time in this lithium space. It'd be remiss of me not to ask about lithium pricing. There's Morgan Stanley have come out recently saying it seems to have bottomed. What's your views?
Yeah, look, again, I've seen just about every high and low in the sector over the last 13 years, and this is certainly where we're getting multiple indications that we're sort of at the bottom and back on the way up, and it was been my firm view for several months actually that the tide is turning, absolutely. The demand piece coming out of China is really robust. We actually have a team on the ground in China at the moment on a technical, it's a technical visit, but certainly a good understanding of what's happening on the ground in China, and that's always been the precursor for the global lithium pricing. But prices are holding up, particularly for spodumene. There's various lithium products being traded at different price points, but you know, Western Australian spodumene is incredibly high demand. It's the preferred raw material in the electric vehicle sector, and our producers and our next wave of developers are in a really strong position going forward.
And you touched on your DFS for your Mana Lithium project. How far has that DFS progressed to date, and what are the kind of key aims the company plans to achieve from this study?
Yeah, so a key part of that is working with the best. So we're engaged with Wave International, a lithium consultancy that has close to 100 years of experience across their metallurgy and process engineering employees. So we've got a real A-grade team working together with our owners team, led by Dr. Tony Chamberlain, a really experienced individual who's just come out of BCI Minerals as well. So Tony's leading our development team. We've got some fantastic onboarded metallurgical and mine engineering capability on our side. And we're also, the MET program's actually with Nagrom, which as far as spodumene goes, these guys are the best in the business. I think on a global basis as it relates to spodumene metallurgy, they're peerless. So the DFS officially got underway in January. So we're making fantastic progress. There's a lot to do in that. Part of that is, you know, really having significant amount of core that we can undertake, a number of sort of de-risking work streams. Part of that is things like ore sorting. We think ore sorting is going to add tremendous value to our DFS and ultimately help to de-risk the flow sheet. So spodumene beneficiation is proven. That's the beauty about what we're doing. Our plant will constitute 5th or 6th generation spodumene beneficiation plant here in Western Australia. We've got this incredible ecosystem of expertise, as I refer to it, that's going to help to deliver this project. So yeah, on track.
And what makes Mana such a standout lithium project?
Oh look, multiple fronts. Like any project, having the fundamentals around the actual resource itself. We've got shallow mineralisation, stacked pegmatites, near surface outcropping, spodumene bearing pegmatites. So not only are pegmatites lithium bearing, the spodumene bearing, the best type of lithium raw material, as I mentioned earlier. The pegmatites also are in quite a close proximity to each other, being stacked and open in multiple directions and at depth. So this is the beauty of our resource. Whilst we've got a 32.7 million initial resource, we think that will grow tremendously on the back of a really significant additional exploration campaign this year. We've got another 50,000 metres planned. We've got some incredible targets on the back of some geophysical, geochemical surveys, airborne and land-based surveys we did in the first quarter. So it'll be world-class, not in terms of scale, but the chemistry as well. It's very consistent in terms of its grade throughout the deposit. and certainly amenable to an open pit mining operation, which we're really good at here in Western Australia.
And you had a maiden resource upgrade late last year, I believe, and you've got kind of significant exploration upside for both Manna and Marble Bar. So what sort of exploration program is playing out through the rest of the year?
Yeah, actually we announced to market last week the kick-off of that campaign. It's a 70,000 metre campaign across both project sites, so 50,000 metres a combination of reverse circulation and diamond drilling at our Manna project. And then another 20,000 metres at Marble Bar. So as I mentioned, we've got some very specific targets that'll be subject to that exploration and drill out campaign this year. We've got a combination of near surface mineralisation, but some really high grades and quite wide intercepts at depth as well. So we need to drill those out and test them further just to find the full extent of the resource. But our geo team's very, very excited to soon be back out on country drilling and exploring. And the fact that we have two resources, two of only 14 lithium resources in Australia, puts us in a wonderful position and gives us that really important development optionality as well as we move forward.
And in terms of establishing downstream credentials to strengthen what the business can offer through the kind of lithium value chain, who are you looking to partner with in that regard?
Yeah, we're sport for choice, Tim. We've got there's been phenomenal interest in the project and the company ever since I joined early last year, and from multiple jurisdictions. You know, of course, China's still a very important part of this industry. We do have one partner there, it's on our register. But the interest from Japan, Korea, Europe and North America is really compelling. So we're taking our time. We've been really prudent and very conservative in our approach to partnership on the downstream side. But you know, what I can say is we're dealing with some very well credentialed, sophisticated and well capitalised sort of tier one counterparties. So when we do announce a deal, it'll be a very good one for our shareholders.
And you touched on those cornerstone investors. Who are they and what sort of synergies do they potentially bring to the business?
We've got a couple of strategics on our register. One is CanMax, formerly known as Suzhou TANA, and they're one of the largest controlling shareholder of a company called Yibintang Li. And this company in China has unparalleled lithium expertise, and they currently manage around 110,000 tonnes of lithium hydroxide conversion. And as you know, spodumene is the preferred raw material to produce lithium hydroxide. Been a wonderful partner and very supportive of what we're doing. Part of our technical visit is obviously to meet that team in China this week. And the other partner we have, of course, is Mineral Resources, and again a company that has some incredible expertise on the upstream side. And yes, certainly we're conversing with both of our shareholders, and we'll look to bring in their expertise and work with them where there's some synergies going forward. Yeah.
Rod Mitchell, thanks for your time.
Thank you.